Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. All right, rock stars, before we get started, I just got to tell you guys, I got to give you the warning. So I remember I was telling you guys that I had a tooth that needed to be pulled. It is this tooth here. It's the second to the last tooth on the bottom left-hand side. The bone underneath has decayed so much that it's like a hole there and food gets caught under there. So the tooth needs to come out. And I was supposed to get an implant. So I went to the surgeon the other day so that he can tell me what the procedure, what it takes to do the procedure, how long it takes, and ultimately how much it was going to cost. And when he told me it was going to be $4,800 and my insurance was only going to cover $500, which was just the extraction because the insurance I don't have implant insurance. Evidently that is an add-on that you have to add on, and I did not add it on. So yeah, $4,300 at the end of the day, and a bitch is here to tell you that y'all gonna be seeing a hole in the back of her mouth because I'm not spending $4,300 on a tooth that's in the back. Now, if it was a front tooth or if it was a tooth that when I smiled, that you would really be able to see, then that's one thing. But we'll just tone that smile down. We won't make it so hard because it's this tooth here. Okay? Which means that if I just give you guys one of these, if I just give you one of these ones here, you won't see that tooth that's missing. But yeah, $4,300, no. I'm going to go to my regular dentist and she's going to give me the, she's going to give me the 411 on a bridge. But from what I understand, that's going to be close to $3,000, and I'm just not going to do that, you guys. So I'm already letting you know that it's going to be a hole back there. Y'all just act like you don't see it. I'm going to try not to laugh real big, I try not to anyway, because y'all know I got the big gums and shit, and I be real self-conscious anyway. So I be trying to keep control of all of that mouth situation anyway. But yeah, no, I just was like, 40 what? For a tooth? My goodness. So that's what that is, y'all. I just had to go on and put that out there for y'all before we get started. I'm assuming I'm gonna probably getting this tooth extracted in the next couple of weeks. Get that out the way. It's so much shit going on, you guys. Anyway, that ain't what you came here for, right? You came here for the stories. Okay, I got about 9 or 10 stories for you today. So looks like I'm gonna be able to help you out. First story up, you guys. Remember I was telling you guys about the unfortunate fight that happened between DaniLeigh's brother, Barnacle Bill. It's not Barnacle Bill. It is Brandon Bill. Brandon Bills. He was at a party that London on the Track was giving. It was Super Bowl weekend out in Los Angeles, and London on the Track had a bowling party. Many people were there, and evidently Mr. Bills was there. Not sure if he was by himself or if he had some people with him. You wouldn't know it from the fight, but anyway. We saw how he got flicked and flung around on that bowling alley, and we had a discussion about it. I believe it was just last week. Was it just last week? And my advice to him was to sue, okay? He needed to get off of social media with all the bravado and the braggadociousness and saying how he really can fight. And if it was on a one-on-one, he would beat DaBaby's ass. And okay, well, that's neither here nor there. That's not how it went down. And it didn't work out favorably for you. So my advice to him was to sue, okay? Because what other way can you hit somebody that's rich but in them motherfucking pockets? Okay, let's get to this, y'all. Word comes out that Mr. Brandon Bills has filed a lawsuit. The complaint says that he was aggressively approached by DaBaby and his team, and they approached him in a bellicose manner. I said bellicose? Bitch, what is that? I'm gonna have to add that to. Let's look up what bellicose mean real quick. Bitch, I ain't heard of bellicose. That sounds like something I'm gonna have to add to the repertoire though here. Let's see. Bellicose means demonstrating aggression and willingness to fight. All right, well then that's what it was, okay? They approached him in a bellicose manner and they attacked him. He said that he did not attempt to fight back, that he did not make any punches, and because of this, he suffered extreme injuries. He said that it was both physical and psychological injuries that are considered permanent. He has medical bills now. He has lawyer bills now because he's obtained a lawyer to defend him and or to represent him, I should say. He says all of this has caused him severe injury and pain. So now I know right after the fight happened, didn't he say that he had gotten into a car accident? I don't know if that's gonna come and bite him in the ass or if he was just trying to save face because he had like some scrapes and shit on his face. I mean, you didn't really have to go through all of that. I hope that wasn't a lie because we already saw the fight. Okay, we saw what happened, so you had every reason to have all of them marks and shit on you. You didn't have to make up a car accident or I don't know, you guys. But anyway, he is now suing DaBaby, and I'm not mad, okay? I'm not mad because if you can't fight a motherfucker back with these, then you get them back with this. We'll see. And you guys, we all saw the video. We all saw, well, at least at the very beginning, it seemed that DaBaby threw the very first punch, okay? And it wasn't so much that he didn't try to fight back. He didn't have a damn chance to fight back. He had 4 niggas on top of him. Everybody swinging, people was falling, you couldn't even get your footing. So it wasn't so much that he wasn't trying to fight back, it's just that he could not. He didn't have a chance to. So yeah, I mean, I ain't mad. People are saying that he's, that ain't like a real G way to handle things or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, like, is he really a G like that anyway? When you have to keep on telling everybody what you can do and how you can fight and blah, 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 like really, is that what people that's really about it do? If they really about that life, do they go out announcing to everybody what they can do? Hell, if you really about that life like that, people already know what you can do. You already have a reputation for it. So, child, listen, Brandon Bills, get your money. We'll see what happens there because I told you guys that DaBaby is very well known to be, his defense lawyers are phenomenal, okay? They seem to keep him out of all of the trouble that he gets himself into. I don't know who these people are, but damn it, they're the ones to have on the speed dial. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think in cases like this, many times they end up settling out of court. So that might be something that happens in this case as well. But then also DaBaby seems like kind of the type to just, maybe want to fight it because what DaBaby is saying, going around saying that it was self-defense, that this man had been threatening him. I don't really know how the self-defense thing happens how it works. My real rock star lawyers out there could let me know, but can you claim self-defense on a fight that you ended up starting, even though this person has been going around and threatening you, in social media and everybody has seen it in the past? That's not imminent, like it's not happening right now. So could he even say that that was a self-defense kind of thing, So anyway, that is what's going on there. They say that Brandon Bills is also suing the bowling alley. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe because they didn't have adequate security there, or maybe because the security didn't act in a way that would have, that regarded his own safety. So, child, I don't know. But the fact that DaBaby's people acted in a bellicose manner, I like that word, bellicose. I'm gonna keep a hold of that one, y'all, but because they behave that way, he is now suing. So I'm sure we'll hear more about it, or maybe we won't. There'll probably be more episodes like this because, like I said, Danny and DaBaby don't look like that they are finished with each other. So more to come, you guys, but that's the 411 on Brandon Get Your Money Boo Bills. All right, you guys, next story up. So I don't really know what to make of all of this, but there has been a $20 million lawsuit filed against singer Trey Songz. Once again, you guys, he has been accused of sexual assault. Okay, now we don't know the girl's name. She is a Jane Doe, but apparently she and Trey Songz, this is her account, she and Trey Songz have had a casual, friendly relationship over the years, and sometimes that include a sexual relationship. Okay, so she was a booty call. Maybe when he was in a certain place, you know, she would meet him there. You know, they kind of had that kind of relationship. So she acknowledges that they have had sex in the past and that was all consensual. However, at a party in West Hills, California, it was a house party that they were attending back in 2016. And I guess they were both there. And it was already pretty much assumed that those two were going to hook up and have sex that day, okay, or that evening, whenever the party was over, whatever. And, but she said that he kept on badgering her and saying, you know, let me get that ass. Now I'm telling you guys, this is what it say in the lawsuit. Okay. He kept on asking her, let me get that ass. And she kept on repeatedly telling him no, that was not going to happen. Okay. However it went, however the night went, when they finally did end up in bed, yes, they were having sex. And that part was consensual, but she said then he did turn around and anally rape her. And, you know, even though she had repeatedly told him no, even in the act, she said that after it was done, she called an Uber. She got into the Uber. She was so distressed. The Uber driver drove her to a local hospital. That was where a rape kit, you know, the investigation, however it goes, you know, the doctor visit where they do the rape kit, and the police were called, a report was made, and this was way back in 2016. From that time, I don't know why it has taken 5, 6, 7 years for her to finally bring this up in a lawsuit, but the lawsuit has finally happened. Okay, now of course Trey Songz camp is saying that it is all false, it's not true. They're looking forward to the day where they can, you know, completely get all of the facts out there so that he can be found not guilty. You guys know the court of public opinion. We've heard many stories about Trey Songz and his sexual assault cases, where women have said that he's done things from grabbing them and kissing them all the way to, well, this one probably be the worst, with anally raping them. So his name stays out there. His name stays out there. The brother of Trey Songz was fed up the other day because he said that he's tired of hearing these stories that unfairly judge his brother, because even though there's all these women that supposedly have been raped or have been assaulted sexually by Trey Songz, he said that they all come from the same lawyer. And isn't it telling, as far as he's concerned, that this one lawyer would have all of these women who all have these lawsuits they bring against him for these huge numbers, you know, huge amounts of money payout. And he just felt like maybe there was something else more to it than just the guiltiness of his brother. As far as he's concerned, his brother hasn't done it. And of course, Trey Songz has said that he was innocent as well. The brother brought up in that conversation, I was like, you needed to just leave Kiki out of it. But in the conversation, he said that he's tired of hearing people say, you know, we should listen to Kiki, okay? Meaning Kiki, y'all know I always mess up her last name. It's not Kiki Wyatt. It's not Kiki Shepherd. It's Keke Palmer. You guys know that Keke Palmer and Trey Songz have had some history. She had come out some years ago and told us that she was in a music video with him. They had did a song together and they were filming this music video, but she had been drinking a lot and she just kind of didn't feel comfortable that they were recording her for this music video. She didn't want, I'm not quite sure what happened, if it was supposed to be for a music video or if they were just videotaping at this party that she had been drinking at. And she was not camera ready. She did not want to be on camera, but they recorded her. She was so upset that she ended up hiding away in a closet because she couldn't get herself together. And she said that they hadn't done anything physically to her, but they kind of like sexually intimidated her. So they made her feel like the threat of something sexual could happen. And she knew that she wasn't in her right mind. She had been drinking and all of that. So the whole thing was fucked up. So the brother brought up that incident and said that, she never said that he raped her. She actually said that she was sexually intimidated by him. And then he said, and that's bad too, but that's not rape. Well, that's not rape, okay? That's not the physical assault of somebody. However, you can't just kind of brush that part of the story off. In fact, that she felt like it was something, and maybe because just the fact that she was Keke Palmer, she was an actual celebrity, might have been the reason. You guys are just playing devil's advocate, but that may have been the reason why he refrained. Okay, if there was a situation, a lot of times rapists, and I'm not saying that Trey Songz is guilty or whatever, but a lot of times I think the rapists like to take advantage of women who don't have any power or have any say, and they can exert their power over them. And Keke Palmer clearly has some sort of power. She's a celebrity. People know who she is. So that could be one of the reasons why he did. Anyway, the brother says that his brother is innocent. Trey Songz says that he's innocent. And all of these stories, you guys, it's just story after story. And you guys know the old saying, people say when it's smoke, it's fire. It's just like, what the fuck is going on? Why do you find yourself in these continued type of environments where people can accuse you of doing something like this, So I don't know, but $20 million is a whole bunch of money. So this also could be a case where it is settled out of court. I don't think Trey Songz wants to go there. I don't think he wants to settle out of court because he wants to prove that he is innocent. But you never know, because when shit start looking bad for you, you might start changing your mind and just hoping that you can pay the person off and everybody will forget about it. But will you guys forget about the Trey Songz stories? How many of these? I wish I could go through some of my old top of the blogs and just figure out how many times that I've brought a story to you guys about Trey Songz. I don't know if this Jane Doe girl is one of the girls that we've talked about in the past, but what y'all think about that? Y'all think he's guilty? Y'all think he's innocent? We don't never really know, but y'all let me know down in the comments. You guys, next story up. So in white folks news, I'm talking about this because we've actually talked about Coolsculpting in the past, but you guys remember top supermodel Linda Evangelista. Remember, she was a big time model back in the 90s. Beautiful woman, with the drawn on eyebrows. I was watching an old clip of her and I was like, why is her eyebrows look like two damn stencils across it? Anyway, very pretty model from back in the day, beautiful model from back in the day. And she is now suing the company that created Coolsculpting. The name of the company is Zeltique Aesthetics. They're responsible for Coolsculpting. She's saying that the Coolsculpting procedure has left her permanently disfigured. So Coolsculpting is supposed to be a less invasive type of, I guess it's like a non-invasive liposuction, basically, where they get these paddles and they freeze. The paddles are extremely cold and they gather up the fat in the areas that you're trying to get rid of, and they press it between the paddles, and it's for like 30 minutes or so. And in that time, the paddles are supposed to completely freeze the fat cells in there, so much so that they destroy the fat cells. So supposedly the fat cells cannot regenerate in that area. Okay, so the procedure, I guess she decided that she would go along with something like that instead of something like a liposuction where, they actually cut inside your body or whatever. So she did this procedure over a course of, I guess, 7 visits. She wanted to get this area done here, okay, and her chin. And evidently she had a negative reaction to the Coolsculpting process, and she ended up getting paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, PAH, okay? And that's basically a hardening of the fat cells. Instead of the fat cells going away, it ended up like hyper forming right there, like a mass right there, and the mass ended up hardening. So instead of it going away, she ended up getting more fat there, and then the fat got hard. Okay, so what ended up, the result was she ended up having this huge bulge right here, like back fat basically. So, but maybe more than you would think on a person that's, you know, pretty slim, but then for them to have like this huge bulge of fat right here, and then also underneath her chin. So, of course, she was distraught about that, she said, and so she contacted the company, Zeltique actually, and let them know that she was, you know, unhappy with the results, and they offered to do corrective surgery for her. So she decided to go in and do the corrective surgery. Now, this was back in 2016, okay? 2017, she got the corrective surgery, and it didn't work. They were able to cut the fat away, I guess, but then it ended up reforming again. Almost sounds like keloid, you know, like keloid skin, but it ended up reforming again. She said that she had another surgery for them to correct that, and it happened again. Okay, now part of the reason why she's pissed about this is because when she got the surgery, when she originally complained to them, she wanted, you know, they offered the surgery, that they would pay for it, but right before she was about to get the first surgery, they told her that she had to sign a non-disclosure act, an NDA, and she didn't want to do that. So they were like, okay, well then we're not paying. So she ended up paying a result $38,000 for these two surgeries. She ended up using this surgeon from Zeltique, the surgeon that was preferred by the company. And then now she's got these areas on her body that she cannot seem to get rid of. Okay. So she now has this huge lawsuit. I think they said $50 million, because she said that, you know, her once being this beautiful supermodel, now she cannot get she can't work. Like no one is going to want to hire and dress her, with these bulges and all these strange pockets of fat that are hardened underneath her skin. Now, like I said, this was 6-7 years ago. Linda Evangelista is, I believe they said 56 years old. So she is, this happened after her prime of being a supermodel, from what I understand. But she said that this has now caused her to not be able to make any money, that even though there are plenty of models from her heyday that are still working and still doing very well, she was not able to do that. She said that this problem that she had, made her be very depressed, and her self-esteem was gone, and, it affected her life in many ways, her relationships with her family members, her children, her, past relationships, like all of this got affected because of all that she was going through with this company. Now, the company is saying that they did let people know that there is a side effect that could, that was possible. However, it wasn't, it didn't happen often, but they did make people aware that it could happen. But Linda Evangelista's team is saying that no, they didn't have anything really that said anything about this happening until she brought it to their attention. Then they started to add it to their pamphlets and their website and all of that after the fact. So she's going forward with this, and she said that this whole thing has devastated her soul. It's interesting because you also think about the fact that she's had these things that happen to her body, but then you also think about the psychology or the mental part of being the supermodel and being regarded as the most beautiful, the most beautiful woman, and then something like this that might sound minor or not that big of a deal to some people. When you think of a person that's always been trumped or put on a pedestal as this most beautiful person, you know, the fact that their now physical beauty is not appealing to everybody, and that it has caused them so much inner turmoil and all of that, is just like, you know, how much it lets you know how much society puts an emphasis on how beautiful you have to be, you know, and how you know, just the mentality of your supermodel and them just putting that at the most important, not just because they're trying to make money, but because they've been told that all this time, you know, and now she's in this place where she doesn't feel like she is. And so it's just completely just ruined her life. So, yeah, it's too bad. I mean, when I saw her on the news reports the other day, I mean, she's still very pretty. She's a very beautiful woman. Okay. But, you know, I couldn't really tell what was going on with the chin, but that thing that was happening back here, I mean, yes, that would be an issue. I mean, it's something that you couldn't wear something real close like this, you know, if you didn't want people to see it, or a tank top or anything like that. It's something that could get covered, but yet and still, it was giving her the grief, and so she's decided to sue. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. She said that she's now a recluse, and, you know, she's just now trying to get back to her life. And speaking out, and, you know, I'm sure that there's probably a very well-versed, a well-experienced plastic surgeon in Hollywood, in Beverly Hills, somewhere that can probably get to her and, you know, help her out. Might not be able to resolve it all the way, but, you know, try to help her out in some kind of way. But yeah, $50 million, honey. Miss Evangelista is not playing. Fuck y'all, pay her. Have you guys ever thought about getting Coolsculpting? Interestingly enough, me and my girlfriend, we have talked about doing it in the past. I mean, I don't know if we were seriously doing it, but we've discussed it, and my girlfriend actually wanted to do it under her chin. You know, I wanted to do it somewhere around the old middle part, because if I can get this stomach flat, y'all already know I'll be a mess. Okay, prepare to be sick of me. But yeah, have you guys thought about it? Has anybody out there had Coolsculpting? Let me know what your experience with it was, if you did. All right, you guys, next story up. I'm going to send a quick rest in peace to Priscilla Murray Gibson. She would be the mother of Tyrese Gibson. You guys know that he had let us know a couple of weeks ago that his mom was ill, that she was suffering from COVID-19 and pneumonia. And I guess she was battling the illness at home until it got to a point where she couldn't any longer, and she was placed in the hospital last week. And things quickly went downhill. He was saying how the doctors at one point had said that there was nothing else that they can do about it. This was Super Bowl week, and so I think that was probably Friday. I remember him posting that the doctors were saying that there was nothing else that they can do, and he was asking for prayers. And you know, I was sad for him, because, like, you guys, you know, all know, we've, you know, for those of us who've lost parents, lost our mothers, it's a club nobody wants to belong to. So I felt sorry for him, even though Tyrese can work our nerves. Like, I don't want him to go through that kind of pain. So, and he looked so devastated. On Super Bowl Sunday, I did see a video of him dancing. He wasn't at the Super Bowl, but he was at home, and he was watching the game, and he was crip walking, and I was like, oh, maybe his mom might be doing better. I just had a little bit of hope, because he just had a little bit of lightheartedness and all of the darkness that had been surrounding him for the last week, you know, that we had saw on social media. But then on Valentine's Day, he made a post and said that his sweet Valentine's had died. So his mother did pass from complications from COVID and pneumonia, and I was just sad for him. I didn't get how old Miss Gibson was, but she was fairly young. Tyrese is the youngest of 4 kids. I couldn't even see if he had brothers or sisters, or, you know, how many of who was what, but he is the youngest of 4 children, so she does leave those 4 behind. Rest in peace to Miss Priscilla Murray Gibson.